Hi guys, this is my economic analysis of what I think the economy looks like today.
Okay, so this is my first graph showing aggregate demand, and it shows that we're in a recession because the long run aggregate supply surpasses aggregate demand, creating this little gap right here, which indicates a recession. Okay, so this is my second graph showing price level and real GDP. I found these numbers on Fred. But the real GDP is negative 11.70 and price level is 266.8. Okay, so this is just the data that represents the real GDP. As you can see, there's a drastic drop in 2020. There was a dip in 2008, 2009 because of the recession. And then since then, we've been, pretty steady. And then we get to 2020 and there is a major drop. So this is, a huge indication of a recession. But next, I'm going to go on to speak about some points why, to support my analysis, why I actually think that we're in a recession. Okay, so unemployment has been steadily rising. As of March 2020, the unemployment rate was about 4.4%, and then prior to this pandemic, it was about 3.5%. Okay, so this is another piece of data. It's from the New York Federal Reserve, and it is the probability model of a recession occurring. Basically, it just says that the probability of a recession in the next 12 months is 30%, which is the same probability as in July of 2007. The Great Recession started in December of 2007, so we have the same probability of going into recession as we did in 2007. Okay, so I think that coronavirus caused us to go into a recession. I think lots of things are impacted: consumer spending, investments, government spending, imports and exports. As we can see, consumer spending has decreased significantly. People aren't going out to restaurants. The restaurants are like only takeout only. Investments, people are pulling out of the stock market, non-investing things, I guess trying to save their money. We've seen that government spending has highly increased. For example, like the stimulus check people are getting. And then lastly, imports and exports. We're seeing less things being imported and exported. Okay, so this is my little hand-drawn graph that I made of showing aggregate demand. I think that aggregate demand has shifted left, and I think it shifted downward due to all the things being impacted: consumer spending, investments, government, and or exports. But yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about what I believe is better for the economy: expansionary fiscal policy versus monetary policy. So I think that expansionary fiscal policy would be better to help us get out of the recession. Expansionary fiscal policy helps by stimulating the economy by increasing spending slash and or decreasing taxes. And monetary policy is also good for implementing to help stimulate the economy, but I think that it is less effective because it takes longer and it usually impacts interest rates. Okay, so as I said before, I think that expansionary fiscal policy is the best tool to help the economy go back to somewhat normal again, I guess. So what we need to do is increase government spending. As you can see on the graph, it's met at equilibrium because the government will spend $100 billion, which will help the economy.